Hello, family. Welcome to episode 2 of our data analysis series. Today, we'll be looking at pivot table. We've been hearing pivot table, pivot table, pivot table. What exactly is pivot table and why is it even necessary? Well, let's break it down. Pivot basically means turning around a spot. Let's now take this definition to data analysis field. We say pivot is about turning, twisting, or tweaking our data in order for us to view it from different angles. The tool that makes this possible is known as pivot table. You see, very simple. So a pivot table is a powerful feature in Excel that allows us to aggregate, summarize, categorize our data with the help of functions such as sum, count, average, max, mean, etc. These functions are readily available in pivot table. You don't need to rack your brain just because you want to come up with a formula. You don't need that. With your pivot table, just a click away. It's a matter of seconds. That is why this tool is very, very, very necessary and helpful. Enough of this talk, enough of this theory and all these things. Let's delve directly into the practical aspect of it. Yeah, I will go to my folder where I have saved the file I want to use for that tech Africa. Again, as a point of emphasis, let's ensure organization, right? Let's make sure our folders and files are organized. It's really helpful. So I come to my pivot table, then I have my file lying down here. I open it. Okay, this is the data right here. This is data right here. So I have how many records? I have, let's say about, let us see, control end. Okay, we have 366. I can see 366 records. It's not quite much, but then you can't really infer anything from these sets, from these data sets. That is why analysis is very, very, very crucial. And to ease your stress, to ease the stress of analysis, pivot table is there for you to leverage. So how do we do this? How do we build pivot table? Very simple. Just click on any cell in your data like this. Then go to this process is after we must have ensured that our data is clean and there's no need for transformation, right? Very necessary. Yeah, as you can see, my data is clean. Dates, okay, it's formatted. Everything is good. Number, yeah. Except that I would like to change this amount here to sales. Yes, I would like to change this to sales. Sales. Sorry. Good. So I'm good to go. So click on any cell, like I said earlier, and go to Insert. You see Pivot Table at the extreme left of your screen, right? You can see Pivot Table. To the right of it, you see recommended pivot tables. These are suggested pivot tables based on this table here. Let's click it and see. So you can see we have count of serial number by region. East, we have 173 entry for East. For North, we have 40. for South, we have 64. We have these two. We have sum of serial number by region. You can see that based on the data you have, but we want a custom pivot table. We create our own. We go to this pivot table here, click it, and we see a dialog box. Therein we have our table name. You can see table one. Yes, that's the table name. You go to your data tab, and by the left you see the name there, table one. It's also asking us if we would like to create the table, the pivot table in new worksheet or existing worksheet. Yeah, of course, we would like to create in a new worksheet. Then this don't need to check this. We are not adding to data model. That's not why we are here. We are not doing that in this video. If you want to learn about data modeling, you go to, there's a video for it already, so go watch that. Yeah. So, but for this video, we just want to create a pivot table on our sheet. Okay. Yes, we have our pivot table. You can see these are pivot table. You can see you can even rename it pivot table 2. The name of this pivot is pivot table 2. You can see it's a pivot table 2. So you can rename it like this. Yeah, you can see it's renamed. And I can also rename my sheet here. I can say pivot. Yeah, good. Now by the right, you can see these two things there. We have the the list of fields we have or columns we have in our data or in our table. You can see we have serial number, date, down to sales. And to the right of it, we have these areas. We have filters, we have columns, we have rows, we have values. These filters allows us to filter based on whatever thing we drop inside this filter. We can filter based on region. If you drop region inside it, we'll be able to filter our data based on region. And these columns here, this columns area allows us to view our data or whatever field we drop inside it horizontally. So if I drop salesman, the values under salesman will be arranged horizontally. If I drop it inside this rows area, it will be arranged vertically down the screen. And if I drop it here, values only deals with numeric fields or numeric entity. For example, if I drop this sales here, it will sum it by default. It will sum it for me. But if I drop any non-numeric field, just like region, it will count instead. It will not sum, it will count because it's not possible for you to sum region. But count can still count numbers of region we have in the data. So that's what this particular field area does. Now we understand all these things and how they work. Let's start aggregating or categorizing. Right. First thing I would like to do is view my sales. I want to know my total sales. The total sales for the period. I click on sales. You can see by default it went down to a values area because it recognizes that this sales is a numeric carries what numeric values. So automatically it went down to where to this area. And I have my sum of sales there. You can see by default it's a sum. So if you want to change it, you can change it. If you click this drop down here, you go to value fit settings, you can see sum, count, average, max. You can change it to whatever it is you want. But for now, we just want sum of sales. You can see this is my sum of sales. We have about 1,682,000 and so on. Now my sales. Now I want to further break this total sales down. I want to know my sales based on a particular thing. For example, based on item, I want to know the sales for individual items. Right? I come to this place and click what item. You can see directly down to here rows. You can see I have it arranged vertically, keyboard, monitor, mouse. So the total space of keyboard, yeah, is this, and this is this. You can see. So all these figures here made up this, right? Very simple. If I want to view this in a horizontal manner, right? Horizontally, what I have to do is just to move this, drag it from this place down to columns. I drop it here. You can see now it's now arranged horizontally. Very simple, very simple, very simple. Now, if I'm to filter, for example, I want to filter with this same item, I can drag it down here. I'll be able to filter the total sales. For example, let me drag it down here. You can see. Now, if you can see this item, if I come here, if I select keyboard, for example, only, and click OK, you can see I have the total sales of keyboard only. Oh, I'm flowing. I have the total sales of what? Keyboard only. That's I'm filtering now. If I come to this place, if I want to select multiple items, I can click this box. Okay, I want to select keyboard and other one, let's say mouse and let's say printer. These three items. Okay, you can see. So the total sales, the aggregate sales for keyboard, mouse, and the other one, which is printer, is this value here. So that's what filters does for us. But that's not where we're going to. Let me just drop this here. Yes, sorry, I want it here, Rose. I like this view better. By the way, go and unfilter. Right, come to this page. You can just come here. Sorry. Yes, select everything. So we have everything back. So now we have our table here carrying this information. Very simple. You can see. So that's how you can build. You can start changing on selecting. You can see how our table is twisting. You can see based on what we select here. You can see how it's twisting, how it's changing and turning. So that's basically what pivot table actually means. It's just for you to know what you want to do. That's all. This tool is there for you to do anything for you. It's at your service. Now let me leave it like this. Item and sales, for example. Yes. Now I would like to also um get my sales or get my sales breakdown by region. So let me just copy this like this. Now to copy how to move a table, right? I copy it down here and say copy here. Exactly. So now this is active. It's not as active now. So I'll just unselect item, then click what? Region. So by region, I have these values, I have this information. So I want to know, for example, I want an example. I want to know the values or my total sales based on month. Like I want to know my monthly sales. So I copy this and drop it here, copy here. Then on select region, then click date. Now in this, you can see that we have breakdowns here, date breakdowns. This date is broken into components, months, quarters, years. Though in the earlier version of Excel, you might not have this. You are using Excel 2013 or 2016 downwards and earlier ones, you might not have this feature. I mean, But 2019 and you know Microsoft 365, so you have this feature. So I can now select based on months or quarters. So in this case, in this video, I'll be doing months. I uncheck the rest. I uncheck this, even date, I uncheck it. So I have my months. You can see my breakdown of this value based on what month. You can see based on month. Isn't this fascinating and interesting? Yes, it is. It is very interesting. Yeah. So what else do I want to do? Yeah, I would like to know. Yes, I have my total sales here. What else do I want to do? I would like to know my total units. Now, the total units. So I can just come here, right? Drag as usual, drag this down, copy here, then on select sales, on select month, and click on what units or quantity, right? Quantity is the same as units, quantity. So this is the total quantity. So you see sum of quantity. I have this value here, sum of quantity. So let me get sum of sales too, like without um disaggregation, without yes, disaggregation, without disaggregating our total sales. We've been disaggregating since you can see, but yeah, let's just print out the value without breaking down. Now on select quantity, then select sales. So I have this family. Basically, this is what pivot table is all about. You can see how I've been twisting my tables, my data to get so many things, different information. You can see that's it. So in the next video, we'll be talking about dashboard, how we can create pivot table based on our pivot, sorry, how we can create pivot charts based on our pivot tables, then from there creating our dashboard. Stay tuned. Thank you.